All right. Test 1, 2. Test. All right. Test 1, 2. Test. All right. Turn this way down. That doesn't go streaming slow at all. There's no slope to it. It just goes zunk. There you go, all the way down to the bottom. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Welcome back, everybody. We got another TikTok Trash Tuesday coming in at the last minute. I had my first high school that I substituted for this week. It was quite interesting, but everything started much later, and then pushed everything else in my day much later. So luckily, we got everything together here. Got a whole giant TikTok Trash Tuesday for you. I'm doing something a little bit different with this TikTok Trash Tuesday because normally I don't have myself up there, but my first one's going to involve me. Yeah, we'll get to it. But do me a big old giant favor here, man. Hit that thumbs up button there. Just be a big old giant dirty baby. Hit that like button. We really appreciate it. So anybody that goes out and does that, it just helps this propagate to other people. And, hopefully you like it enough to propagate it to other people. If not, just keep your mouth shut and hit that like button. You don't have to tell your friends about that one. That one you can keep quiet to yourself. But if you do like us, tell other folks, man. We really appreciate it. Let's get into it. So, whoa! Let me get all set. How's everybody doing tonight? Good for a Tuesday? Is it Tuesday? It feels like I don't know what days are anymore. With the holiday and everything, it kind of threw me off and everything. But I was like, you know what? Still ready to get this TikTok Trash Tuesday. I got that for you right now. Welcome back, everybody. It is another TikTok Trash Tuesday where I go to the internet and I say, hey, show me what you got as far as movie TikToks and stuff goes. And I watch a couple seconds of them. I only get like a slight little vibe of what's going on. And then I just, download that, bring it to you here on TikTok Trash Tuesday and react to it live with you, all the dirty babies in the chat. We really appreciate you coming and hanging out and everything, man. And if you do, drop us some money. Why don't you? Super chat is the Fortress Bucks and everything, or if you just give a little tiny one.
Fortress Pennies, watch how they shine.
Ooh. It's the cheapest money. It's the cheapest entertainment money can buy. I think that's what what it said on the box when I bought it. So yeah, do all that kind of good stuff and everything. But I went to TikTok to pick out all of the movie TikToks and stuff. And here's what I've come up with. And again, I do have to preface that I don't normally put myself in these, but this one kind of required it. So let's go.
To respond before you get butthurt. Cliff, you watch too much corn. Adam, your podcast sucks.
I said before, she don't miss. 10 years down the drain, everybody. I mean, it is what it is. New episode this week. We're talking about Galaxy Quest. The full edit is up on YouTube right now. But she said it sucks, so sorry. Yep, that's it, boys and girls. But I got good news for you. Good news on the Western fronts. She said, she commented on that video and she said, LOL, not you, Adam. So there you go. And then she followed me back. So listen, boys and girls, the wheels are in motion. Okay, she's gonna be she'll be guesting on this thing in no time flat. I'll tell you that right now. See, exactly. She said it wasn't about me. Wasn't about me, and that's okay. And that's okay. Sometimes it's not about me. I know I like to think it's about me quite an awful lot. So much so that I take, 45 minutes worth of TikToks and then I stretch it out to a 2 hour long thing just to hear myself yap. So that's what it is. It's fine. I'm cool with it. Let's roll. Let's get into ones that don't evolve.
Guys, you're going to have to stop this. Not every single movie is connected to Cloverfield.
Let me tell you something, boys and girls. This gentleman right here has busted down some Cloverfield stuff and J.J. Abrams universe things better than I have seen anyone else do, frankly, anywhere. His breakdown of Lost and stuff, a show that I liked up until the last season and everything, as you all know, that, we're Lost fans and whatnot. But even he going through and, redescribing everything that was going on through all these episodes and everything, man, made me want to go back and actually watch Lost again. Same thing goes with all the other Cloverfield stuff because it's all JJ and everything is intertwined in some magical weave of a web and everything. And I believe old LP Longmire here is one of the few that have kind of detangled said web really well. So let's see what he's got.
Unless Cloverfield came from the ocean. You know what else came from the ocean? Finding Nemo. And who was
It all makes sense now.
Nemo's dad? Marlin the clownfish. What do clownfish do? They clown around. Pennywise. Pennywise eats kids. You know who else was a kid? Haley Joel Osment. What did Haley Joel Osment do? He saw dead people. Thank goodness for Ghostbusters. What else appeared in Ghostbusters? The Titanic. What sank the Titanic? An iceberg. Who voiced the iceberg in Ice Age? Trick question. Nobody did.
Queen
Latifah voiced Ellie the Mammoth. And what else did Queen Latifah star in? Last Holiday.
Taxi.
When do holidays happen? The end of the year. You know what else ends the year? New Year's Eve. And what happens on New Year's Eve? Fireworks. You know what else looked like fireworks raining down in New York? The monster attack in Cloverfield. It connects! It all connects!
20 minutes later.
Code 217. Guy thinks everything's connected to Cloverfield. What are you smiling at, freak?
You wouldn't get it.
Listen, there are a lot of connections to Cloverfield throughout all of the what do you call it? There's all of his TikToks and everything, and the J.J. Abrams verse, as it were. I was trying to think. I'm like, how do I coin a phrase for all the J.J. stuff? J.J. Abrams verse. That's all I got.
There are 4 big problems with watching TV today, but
problem number 1, most of it sucks. Problem number 2, you got to have 88 different places to find it. Problem number 3, it's all boring and dumb. We'll throw woke in on that one just for funsies. The fourth one is to be continued, to be determined by this maybe.
There's one easy solution. Problem number 1, there's so
the solution, by the way, is getting rid of television altogether. I mean, we're practically there as it is, so
much content to watch every month, and it's spread across all different streaming apps. Problem number 2, you have to pay for
look at me. I'm right so far, baby.
For every streaming service separately, and it can be tricky to remember what tier you're on or whether you pay monthly or annually. Problem 3, actually finding the show or movie you want to watch is a time suck. Every
yeah. Now, I will say this, for those of you that have this problem and everything, I will say a fantastic resource for you is going to be Apple TV. Yeah. If you have an Apple TV, you can just go to the regular kind of homepage there and everything. Say like, I want to see XYZ movie. And then it'll pull up all the different options that you have, from buying the movie to streaming it on one of the apps that you currently have. And it usually will go through and default to the one that you have, that's kind of your, let's say it's on Hulu, right? It's on Hulu and you could purchase it. It would steer you towards the Hulu one first. So like, it's a pretty good system. It's not flawless by any stretch of the imagination because there's a lot of other things out there, but it does use the collective of what you've got within your app system here and everything to say, hey, it's available on this. Check it out.
App has a different interface and it's just menus within menus.
So again, another tip for Apple TV.
And number 4, if you don't have live TV, you're going to miss the events everyone is talking about.
That's
but
true.
Spectrum is the solution. It's a one-stop.
Oh, fuck me. This is an ad, brother. All right, I'm muting it. We're just letting it go. Son of a bitch. I was not aware this was an ad, guys. That's my bad. You normally can't download his videos. I wonder why this was easily downloadable. Because it's an ad. That's just ridiculous, dude. Unbelievable. She did not follow you. I don't know. Not that I'm aware. Ideas to fix/save movie theaters. You, boys and girls, you know that this is certainly part of my wheelhouse here. You've heard many of my answers as to how I think we should fix the movie theaters. Let's check someone else's opinion out. I'm always open to new ideas. I'm willing to listen to others. I want to make movie going the best possible experience. Let's see what this young lady has to say.
On how I plan on saving movie theaters. All right, what we need to fix. Free parking with validation. I'm looking at you, Rick Caruso. This is your problem. Fix it, dude.
That's the problem of large cities. I'm sorry if you live in a city where you've got to start paying for parking and doing all this crap. Just move, get out. Why are you there? If that's an inconvenience, if you hate that, why are you still living there? Get out. Guess what? 99% of the country, not like that. 99% of the country, movie theaters, they all have giant ass parking lots. You go park, you walk up, you're good to go. You have to worry about validating parking and all of this bull crap. What year are you living in? Ugh.
Dude. All right, shame. Bring back shame.
Yes. 100% yes. Bring back shame in the movie theater. Make people ashamed for being pieces of garbage in public. Just make people afraid to be jerks. Make them afraid to be jerks. Let them realize that this is not their home. You are not home watching, streaming whatever bullcrap that you want to. Go home and do that. Here, this is a collective. We are all here together. Shut your mouth. Bring back the shame. Look them in the eye. Tell them to shut up. Bring back the shame. And here's the thing. If enough people are doing it, we bully them all into shutting the hell up. Simple as that.
Let's start normalizing calling people out for their phone usage.
Amen.
You're doom scrolling. You're texting who? You're just checking an empty group.
Yeah, if you're this bored, if you are picking up your phone, walk out and leave. Get out now. And again, I still think that we should have the cell phone thing, just like the comedy clubs and stuff like that. You put that in there, you'll get your phone out when you're done. It's simple.
Group chat. Bye. Boo. Let's like boo you and be like, hey, stop it.
I've thrown things at people before and almost gotten into a fight on account of it. So believe you me, I take it seriously.
Maybe even put a theater employee into there to.
Listen, as much as I would like that, the amount of time that would end up wasting and stuff, it does suck. We would really like it if everyone would just act like a human being. I know that comes as like a crazy statement to some people that we need to act like human beings every once in a while and, be courteous and kind to one another. But crazy thought as it is, maybe every now and then we can pull the trigger on that, eh?
Force it if we're not going to shame them. Creating more jobs. Isn't that what you Republicans want,
I don't know where that little bit came from, but okay.
Allow coffee from outside.
Oh, madam. No. Here's where we draw the line. That's ridiculous. Let's hear what you have to say, and then we'll tell you how silly you are.
Please, you do not want your theater employees with an espresso bar or a matcha station making a strawberry upside down matcha latte.
Or maybe that you don't need that while you're at the movie theater, sweetheart. My word, how bougie can you get? Ugh.
At 11:45 on a Marvel opening night. No,
you aren't going to those things. That's not you. It's like, open up the matcha bar, Mitch. We've got too many of these matcha lovers coming in here for the Marvel movies. You know how they are. What are you talking about, man?
You don't. Just let us sneak in coffee. It's coffee.
Let us sneak it in. Why not? Why don't you sneak in my kids, too? Sneak them in the back. Sit them in the back seat. Who gives a crap if it's an R-rated movie? Let them go. Why not? Are you stupid or something?
Let us proudly bring in coffee. My iced latte is not going to hurt you. I wasn't going to buy a Coke anyways. Okay.
Then your money is not. Then get your money out of here, you dummy. What are you doing? That's ridiculous. Just let me do what I want. This is why nobody's on your side, lady.
Hey, it's 10 a.m. Lower the ticket prices to $10 for regular and $15 for IMAX.
Look at this girl. She's over here doubling my prices. Yikers, boy. Yikers. I'm saying your ticket Monday through Thursday is $5. Ticket, popcorn, and a drink Monday through Thursday, every single show, $10 total. That's right, boys. The one who's wanting to make movies great again, that's me, bitch. That is me. I'm numero uno on this one. I am the trailblazer. I am the beacon. You follow.
You gotta increase the IMAX prices, because I'm sorry, it's a new level for non-members. Like, I'm AMC Stubs. I pay $24. I don't know why you guys are paying.
Oh man, now she's like, listen, I got AMC Stubs as well, so boo hoo to you.
To see 3 movies a month and paying like so much money.
I swear to God, if this is an ad as well and we are not being told, this is the 2 weeks here for people for doing ads that they ain't talking about. My God, what is going on?
It's useless. Sell candy at a normal retail price and drinks.
Again, that still all falls under me.
Come on. I would not be sneaking in retail price candy. If you just sold retail price candy, I'm going to give you that money. Do the same thing Target does, dude. Come on.
Yeah, listen, I agree with you, but you're going to get more flies with honey than you will with vinegar, my dear. This is not the way to go about it.
And then make all cup holders equal. I have a Hydro Flask because I have the same.
You should be bringing your Hydro Flask to the movie theater. What is wrong with you? You can't start yelling at people, hey, you need to do these rules when you also want to flaunt half the rules yourself. What are you on about, man?
Reusable water bottle for the last 5 years. So I don't have a Stanley Cup. I'm not going to get it. Just make Hydro Flask things accessible, please.
Oh, God, please. Retrofit your entire theaters for Hydro Flask. Why aren't you doing it, AMC? What's wrong with you? Have you no heart? Get the Hydro Flask shit in there now. People are desperate for it. Desperate. And who are you? Who are you to deny them? Just fix all the cup holders in all of the theaters. Thank you. This girl's insane.
You're driving me crazy. But yes, this is how I'm going to fix theaters, and just tag your favorite theater and be like, hey
man,
let's fix theaters. They're dying. Here's how you fix them.
Do what I want. Do what I want. Do what I want. But yours are like, let me sneak stuff in. That's not how you fix it, ding dong. Oh, Lord have mercy, man.
I'm just the people's movie theater princess. What else can I say?
You could have said less. Matthew in the chat says, Adam, I saw the Toxic Avenger unrated and had a real good time. I'm glad it wasn't sleazy. Wasn't sleazy and sleazy like classic Troma. It's very true. Yeah, it didn't make you feel like, it made you feel gross because of the gore and all the gushiness, and not gross in the fact that you're just like, these are some outdated tropes. Honestly, though, they should have thrown in a couple for fun. Maybe that's just me being a little bit of, edgelord, just going like, try to piss a couple people off just in case. Throw in a couple of like little people slurs and stuff in there just to throw Dinklage off the scent.
We should be having more conversations about how art critics across all mediums are being shut out and silenced because everybody wants a cheerleader and everybody wants an echo chamber.
Nobody wants critics. They just want cheerleaders and echo chambers. I think I'd agree with that to a degree, but I also have a differing opinion on movie critics. So let's see where he's going, and then I'll throw in my 2 bits.
Chamber. And there's been an ongoing conversation that spawned off a New Yorker article talking about the fact that music criticism has really lost its edge, but I see this conversation in nearly every single art form, whether we're talking about movie criticism, TV, books, etc. You get the idea. But more and more often, people are getting doxxed for their reviews. They're getting harassed for their reviews, and they're
now that's just stupid. You don't need that. That's like I can't think of anybody that would put their stamp on that being a thing that they should do. Come on, people, that's nuts.
reviews aren't paying them in the same way that they were in the 90s and 2000s. And as I've talked about movies for the past 2.5 years and done film reviews on here, lots of people assume I'm a film critic, lots of people describe me as a film critic, and I think it's a label that I push back quite a bit, and I talk about that more in this video, but I think also a lot of people don't talk about the ways that film critics are really being actively shut out just
1,000 5-star reviews? Yeah, I would call that into question. I would call that into question. I need to have my, because my letterbox is on my phone here. And I don't know what the password is for the website. I need to put that up at one time at some point so I can have that for reference and stuff. Because I know that I'm in the of the ones that I've rated on Letterboxd, I'm in the 2,500 category here. But I wouldn't say 1,000 of those would be a 5-star. That's bananas, dude. Those are bananas numbers.
On a broader systematic scale. A really great example of how audience reviews are being pushed over critics' reviews are looking at everything that's happening with the movie caught stealing right now. If you don't know, the Austin Butler movie actually had 2 early screenings. There was a mystery screening, I believe, sometime last Monday, and there's actually a paid screening this past Saturday, but critics cannot put up their reviews right now, even if they did see the movie at either of those screenings, but fans can. The same thing happened with Jurassic World Rebirth when it had a mystery screening through.
Yeah, guess what, everybody? Critics are becoming less and less relevant. Why? Because people aren't looking at you, people aren't listening to you. And if they're not doing that, if they're not going to where your work is, why do you exist? Why do you exist? When's the last time that you sat down and actually read a review of a new movie? Not a Rotten Tomatoes headline that says Julie of the Washington Examiner says Jurassic World is a real kick in the pants. Nothing like that. Like a full ass, honest to God review that somebody went and took a real honest to God afternoon to write. When's the last time that you did that? I can't think of the time I did it. Actually, the last time that I can vividly remember reading some review, I forget exactly what the review was, but I was married at the time. So that was at least 12 years ago at this point, something like that. Or maybe we were dating or something. And I remember going to a sushi place, and for whatever reason, we were reading something off of RogerEbert.com and reading a full review of something. I forget what it was. But again, that was 12 plus years ago. So the internet's still available to you. All of the, things are there. And even then, we still weren't reading things like that. And I don't think you or anyone else is. And I know that there's just a group of hoi polloi that, got their little English degree and everything and thought, hey, man, I'm going to make a great living off of writing stuff. I'm Jack Kerouac or some nonsense. And it's you're not, bro. You're not that good of a writer. And even if you were, there's not enough eyeballs out there to, satisfy that. Now, if you can parlay that into doing something that people are going to put some eyeballs on, go right ahead. But me, I've had that thought in my head before, I'd like to be able to, do some real criticism writing and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's who's going to read it? They barely even listen to the bull crap that I say on this channel, much less actually sit down and take the time out to read something. People can barely make it through a TikTok short, bro.
AMC, and critics were actually chastised if they put up their reviews early, even though everyone else could. And we've been seeing this happening.
I think that's stupid. You should be able to do that as much as you want. Right? Embargoes are stupid. Forget about it.
Recently and escalating. If you don't know, during Gladiator 2, I saw a number of critics online saying that they were actually not invited to any of the press screenings.
They didn't invite me to the press screenings. I had to pay for a ticket to see it. I had to be a regular person. Oh, no. Oh, I'd have to have a little bit of skin in the game. I'm a movie critic. I'm not supposed to have that. They're supposed to just give it to me for free. Get out of here, dude.
Even though they interviewed cast members and crew for the movie, but yet influencers were invited. If we look at Chicago alone and look at the press bubble,
that's because listen, as much as I don't like influencers and stuff like that, because I have clearly, as you can look at the numbers, I don't influence people to do shit. They're at least people that people are looking at. People aren't looking at, not for nothing. I can't tell you when the last time I went to the website, but they're not looking at a Joe Blow review and going ooh, I got to sit down and read this Joe Blow review from Joe Schmuck. They're not doing it. But an influencer, And we'll see a couple of those influencers on this here TikTok Trash Tuesday today. So be prepared for some of that.
Publications in the city, the Chicago Tribune and the Chicago Sun-Times, they've all eliminated their film critics' positions in the past 6 or so months.
Good. You don't need them. Sorry. Hate to tell you. And here's the thing. They're not writing anything that's any damn good anyhow. Like, we're not firing Pauline Kael here. We're hiring dipshit number 3 who's been writing blogs since he was like 18 or some crap. Who cares?
Because of that, critics like Richard Roper and Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert would not have had their careers today without these positions.
Without newspapers, they wouldn't have had their jobs that they had. So, we're not even talking about the same era anymore. This isn't the same thing. We don't live in the same world. This is like talking about the Pony Express or something, man. It's like, that's not a thing anyone does anymore.
I shared lots of my thoughts about the state of modern-day film criticism in this video that I put out. Not a lot of it's good, but if you do want to hear more of those thoughts, again, check out this video.
What do you guys think? You think I should do a reaction to the Am I a Film Critic video? I don't know. As tier sarcasm, Adam. Applause. Listen, I try.
Video.
What's next?
You can discover all of someone's secrets by getting 3 movies out of them.
Alrighty. She's back, ladies and gentlemen. And she doesn't hate me, so that's a good thing. 3 movies. Let's see what I got.
The favorite movie. This is the movie they love above all others. It also serves an autobiographical function. It is self-expressive. It's what they would say in a corporate icebreaker where they are asked.
The answer to this question for me is Back to the Future. Yep. Favorite movie, just kind of right back to it and everything. Pretty much a flawless gem. Back to the Future.
What their favorite movie is. Therefore, it is not enough. You also need the formative movie. We don't get to pick our formative movies. We're teenagers. We're minding our own business. Suddenly and randomly, who we are as a person yawns open. This movie walks in. It explodes. There's shrapnel everywhere. You couldn't clean it out of there even if you wanted to.
This one for me would be Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction was definitely that one that made me kind of like go, whoa, wait a minute, movies can be this? And guess what? For the most part, they weren't that. They certainly weren't that. But it did open up avenues to a whole bunch of other, bits of cinema and stuff, and kind of, opened my eyes to, other bits of filmmaking and stuff. So yeah, I would definitely say Pulp Fiction, formative movie.
The comfort movie is a cool hand on a hot forehead. The comfort movie never gets old. The comfort movie will never let you down.
Now, normally, I would normally say that this is this would be Back to the Future, because again, that's another one that you could never be quite let down with that. But if I'm going for something different, which I think you should, let's see if she's got a little more explanation. Maybe I'll pick something up.
And so it might sound something like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet, Rocky IV.
Rocky IV is a really great one. By the way, Rocky IV, the Stallone director's cut, far better. We cut out the robot. There's a whole lot of jibber jabber that we just take out of that thing, slims it down. Quite an improvement to Rocky IV Stallone's cut. Highly recommended. In that comfort movie vein, then, I like, because we covered it on the podcast not too awful long ago, but boy, oh boy, you just turn it on and it is just instantly being traveled back to that time in the period and everything. And that's The Goonies. Yeah, I'd say The Goonies is kind of a very comfort movie. It just feels like childhood again, and when you're old enough to where you still kind of can see a bit of that childhood, especially I grew up in like a little small town and everything. We were kind of, back further than people were in the first place. So, seeing that kind of old timey stuff, I'm like, it absolutely just, it fills in the gaps of my childhood right there. So I would say, yeah, The Goonies.
Be careful with this question, because it will help you see into someone's soul. But how else will you know if you want to suck it out of them?
I'm looking to have it sucked out of me, if you know what I'm saying. That's awful. That's awful. I apologize. Unless. Big Trouble in Little China for your for that comfort thing, I would think, yeah? So you don't really get comfortable movies. So he's just like, listen, put a little Serbian film on, and I ain't trying to get comfortable up in here. Put on Reversible again. Irreversible. I think Reversible is about a sweater.
I will be at Regal movie theaters all month long in September.
Okay. God damn it. Did I do another ad? Did I download another ad somehow? Because this seems like some bull crap, but okay. Regal's Cine Classic September movie lineup. Again, I know no one watches this stream or anything, but I will say this. I think people are finally starting to listen to old Adam here and going, hey, maybe we need to get classic films back into theaters, movies that people might actually want to go see. And folks, I'm here to tell you that you do need to go see these movies on the big screen. It's a game changer, man. If you didn't get to see Jaws this past weekend, you're really missing out, dude. It is a completely different experience seeing it on the big screen. I've seen it like 6+ times. It is you gotta see it, man.
They're doing Regal Cine Classic, where they are releasing a classic film every day in the month of September.
Every day? What? No, what?
We have Paper Moon,
Okay, boy, we're going fast. Paper Moon, Dark Knight. Boy, you couldn't get too difference between day and day, huh?
Dark Knight, Dog Day Afternoon, Doctor Strangelove, Interstellar, The Godfather,
Okay.
Breakfast Club, and Citizen Kane.
Well, are you doing both? Is that a double feature, Breakfast Club and Citizen Kane? I could not imagine a more diverse double feature, if you will. Interesting.
The Departed, Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, John Carpenter's The Thing, Shawshank Redemption.
Holy moly.
Inception, Forrest Gump, Sunset Boulevard.
Jeez Louise.
David Fincher's Seven, Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth, Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing, Hitchcock's Psycho, Saving Private Ryan, A Clockwork Orange, Before Sunset, Cinema Paradiso, Casablanca.
Get out of here. Now, some of these are obviously your kind of standards and stuff like that, your Casablancas. Listen, I've seen Casablanca on the big screen a couple of times. It's good. Do I need to see it again? Certainly not. I don't think, unless it's like, a little fancy schmancy date night and everything. But that's like almost an anti-date movie because he loses the girl at the end, for crying out loud.
Hitchcock's Vertigo, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Lawrence of Arabia, Chinatown, and PTA's There Will Be Blood.
Holy shit. What a lineup. That is bonkers, man. This is what I want to see. This is what, okay. So think about this. I don't know what these tickets cost and everything, but if each one of these tickets cost $5, and again, you got into this movie, ticket, popcorn, and a soda, if that was altogether $10, how many of these would you end up going to see? I bet it's more than one. I bet it's more than two. I bet it could be a couple. I bet you might get up to 5 or 6 at $10 a pop for everything. Again, I don't know what they're charging for this stuff, but that's what I would charge in the movie theater world that I would run.
I'll tell you what, I'm definitely saying There Will Be Blood, 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, for sure.
I've seen 2001: A Space Odyssey twice on the big screen. Could not recommend more. Sit as absolutely close to the screen as you can. Every bit of that needs to be hitting you in the face as giant as you possibly can. I'm telling you, it is so important. But oh wow, what an awesome thing! You got a little intermission in the middle. It's great.
I mean, I'm going to try to go as many days as I can to this because this lineup is absolutely ridiculous. And this is
I listen. Makes me want to go get that Regal Unlimited. If they got that going on right there, I think that would be worth it. And again, do that, but like have that year round where like no matter what day you go to the movie theater, there's a good chance you could have a interesting, wild, cool classic that you could go and watch if you don't want to watch any of the other stuff out there. We're starting to get there, you geniuses.
What movie theaters should be doing.
Yeah.
Whoever thought of this idea at Regal, I thank you. I kiss you because
Hey, don't get too familiar.
this is amazing. These are movies that obviously we weren't able to see in theaters because
What are you, 12? Like, some of those for sure. I mean, obviously your Citizen Kanes, your Casablancas and whatnot, but like, dude, 75+% of those, you should have been able to see most of them. Come on now.
we weren't born yet or either too young. And now you get to experience your favorite movie at the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love, baby.
Boy, he's really at it to help.
Why don't we just do that more?
So I'm
Because we're dumb.
super excited for that. Like I said, found out this information from Marcel's Movies on Instagram. So go follow him on Instagram and
Now, Marcel, you aren't a fucking liar, are you?
TikTok. See what your nearest Regal is showing for you. This made the whole month of September so exciting for me. So exciting.
No good. Forget about it. What's next?
So how do you get invited to red carpet premieres? Now,
Good old Straw Hat Goofy. And look at this hat. My word. Good ensemble. At least he's matched with everything. Pretty sharp looking. Listen, you guys know me. I definitely subscribe to the Groucho Marxism of I would never want to belong to a club that would have me as a member. That's how I kind of feel about the big movie premieres and stuff like that. Like the idea would be kind of a nice, but like I don't want to be all up in that. That's just like it's not my bag. But let's see what he's got here. If indeed that might be something that you guys would like to do. I just want people to watch my crap and get paid to sit and talk about movies all day. That's all I want. I don't need to rub elbows with celebrities and everything. If anything, I'd like to keep most of them far, far away from me.
Now, I get this question a lot in my DMs. It's one of the most asked questions in my live stream chats. And a lot of times people just ask me this straight up to my face. And I never really answered it online before. And I think it's a good idea to do that now.
Number one, kiss a lot of ass.
But in case you don't know me,
don't say anything bad about any company. Even if you've got criticisms, I want you to put some sprinkles on top of them. You know what I'm saying? Make them look good.
hi, I'm Straw Hat Goofy. I talk about movies on the internet. I have podcasts and things of that sort.
Now, who amongst us doesn't?
And I get invited to a lot of red carpet premieres and early access screenings to movies.
Even if you invited me, I'd look you in the face and go, no, unless I could do what I want. In which case, maybe, but you won't let me do what I want. What do I want to do? Wouldn't you like to know?
Now, the important thing to know is that these premieres are just essentially big marketing and press opportunities for new films, right? The biggest, the better, right? It's a chance for the studio to invite places like Variety, Hollywood.
And then they look you in the face and say, please, just say nice things about us. We're doing all these nice things for you. Will you do a nice thing for us? You don't have to do a nice thing for us, but we did fly you all the way out here and give you an Xbox.
Reporter, IGN, discussing film, all those things, so that they can boost the profile of the movie. And the people that they invite are also used to boost the profile of the movie.
Which is fine. But again, let's not pretend like they're not bringing you there and greasing you up. Because that is what they're doing.
Now, because influencers have kind of become the new wave that are on par, or some would argue even bigger than some of these publications, then they're invited to kind of boost that movie's profile.
And I agree with that. And you heard me talking in the previous video here and everything that, yeah, I absolutely agree that these guys are bigger than your critics and reviewers and stuff like that. And people are more apt to pay attention to people like Straw Hat Goofy. He does have a big audience that does, like his stuff. I may not be the biggest fan, but a lot of people do enjoy this guy. So yeah, those companies would reach out to a guy like him to bring that message out to fans like you, for sure.
Post about it and get people excited about it and create more awareness for it, right? As far as how and why I started getting invited to movie premieres, my movie content really started blowing up in 2020, 2021. My podcast is doing really well right now. I interview directors and actors and celebrities.
Oh, who's with SEO, like, actors and shit like that. Like, of course you're going to be doing fine. But Straw, or you need to talk about who's your company, man? Who are your people? Because like, I don't know if he's going to mention this, but like, you don't get to just start interviewing celebrities because you were, a doucher on TikTok. You got people that make sure that can be hooked up. But maybe you'll say something about it. I don't know.
All the time. So it makes sense to invite someone like me from a marketing standpoint.
I
want to
agree.
stress that from a marketing standpoint, because then I get to talk about the movie early. I get to interview the actors and things of that sort. So it makes sense. Now, that all sounds cool, but I'm going to get real with you really quick. That doesn't mean that you are invited or entitled to every single premiere.
Wow. Do some people have that assumption then that you would like by default be invited to everything? That's interesting.
Right? The people up top have their set people that they want to invite. They're people that they want to give everybody a chance. They want to give all types of influencers now and all types of people a chance to go to these premieres. So there's a lot of entitlement, specifically from influencers who feel like they have to go to certain premieres. I've seen people crash out so hard when they did not get that invite.
And that's when you're a pathetic person. That's when you're pathetic. And if you have to, like, I need to go to a premiere, otherwise I'm not, then you suck. Then you suck your baby, your big sucky baby. Oh, I didn't get to go to a movie premiere. Where's my red carpet? Ugh, these people are bad. Doesn't sound like Straw Hat's doing that, but I'm sure those people exist, dude.
In reality, again, this is not just a marketing opportunity, but it's a privilege to go to something like this. And a lot of people want to be there not to kind of like boost the profile of the movie, but boost the profile of themselves.
Ding.
And they just see it as an opportunity to meet famous people, appear famous, and things of that sort.
That is very, very true.
When in reality, like, it is to celebrate the film and to kind of like hype up the film.
But if you get to rub a little elbows with Tom Cruise, who's to say?
It's not to say you're being invited to say good things about the film, but that's what the marketing team is thinking about. Like, big profile people.
Let me slather him up real good, see? Oh, yeah, he's going to get on the internet and he's going to do us real good.
Equals our movie will do well. So to boil it all down, there are people that work for a studio that's in charge of the premiere. They look at people that they think would be a good idea to appear at that premiere, and then they send the invites.
This person looks gullible enough to get our message across. Get him in here.
Out that way. It's not just to hit the people up unless you're like, I don't know, Brad Pitt or something. Yeah, I hope this helps. Again, if you like talking about movies, can I be your movie guy?
No. Straw Hat, why didn't you talk about how you get hooked up with all these things? You skipped a lot, dude. You're just like, I was doing some stuff and my thing is blowing up, so I'm able to do the things. I think you skipped a couple steps there, buddy boy.
Make sure you give me a follow. Also, make sure you check out the Get Wrecked with Stry Goofy podcast, where right now I'm interviewing the director of him, Justin Tipping, as well as the stars and director of The Long Walk, which is coming out pretty soon. So
they're all good. All of them good, except for when... God bless them.
Make sure y'all check that out.
Listen, I have my issues with Straw Hat, but he's all right. He's harmless more than anything, I think. What's next?
A lot of Quentin Tarantino films are kind of boring. Kate.
Okay. We're gonna center up here, and we're gonna see where this goes. We're gonna listen, and we're not gonna judge, but eventually we will judge.
What's your favorite movie of all time?
The Wild Robot. It's so beautiful.
Listen, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum. Your favorite movie can be whatever your favorite movie is, but I have to say, if your favorite movie of all time came out in the last 5 years, you better have a damn good explanation. A damn good explanation. The Wild Robot. What? Now, if people came out and say, hey, I don't see a whole lot of movies, but ... I'd let them say whatever they want to say. But the fact that you say that, like, I don't know, what do you figure this girl is? 23, 24, something like that? Kids don't have favorite movies anymore, man. It's a sad state of affairs we live in.
Beautiful. It's about motherhood. It's a robot who is incapable of love, and she rewires herself to learn to love, and she raises...
Oh, her mom hates her. I put it together. There you go.
Is her own little goose baby. It's beautiful. I've seen the movie 6 times. I've cried all 6 times. Like his
6 times. Again, Wild Robot hasn't been out for less than 5 years. It's been less than 5 years that movie's been out, if it ain't a year or 2. 5 times, and this, wow. Somebody's got some abandonment.
Terribly solid.
Do you have any movie hot takes?
A lot of Quentin Tarantino films are kind of boring. And I also I hate like a dude bro. Like if a film guy is like, oh my god, you should watch this movie, and it's just a straight soliloquy for 4 hours.
Oh my god, you guys, there's words in this movie. I didn't know I was going to have to be listening to words. Like, they're all in order and stuff. And then, like, I've got to, like, put them together and make them make sense and stuff for the story. Like, I graduated school, okay? I don't need more of this. No. Tarantino, get out of here.
Really don't care. I would rather watch The Wild Robot or Despicable Me or something animated. It's more fun, more.
We got one of them Arrested Development cases. It's okay. Y'all just let her be. She one of them special ones. It's nice. Good for her. Good for her. Living in a simple world. If anything, we should all be jealous. We should all be jealous of someone who lives in such a pure little world.
Enriching.
What's next?
Premiering almost 2 years ago and never getting distribution due to its obscene and absurd humor and also just its graphic violence, despite having Peter Dinklage, Jacob Tremblay, Taylor Page, Eliza Wood, and also Kevin Bacon, The Toxic Avenger is finally here, the remake of the Trauma classic, a film that has many expectations due to the wait that we've all had.
Yeah, I mentioned this on a review. Bruce and I have a giant review of this up on the YouTube page here and everything, so go check that out if you will. We put a full edited video up and everything. So we recorded us and it's flopping back and forth between the cameras and whatnot. It looks real nice. Go check it out for heaven's sakes. And that's a big spoiler filled review for you as well, just so you know.
And I don't know if it met them. In the film we follow.
No, I don't think that ultimately it met them. We talk about it a little bit in the kind of in the video and everything. It's good, but boy, there were some expectations that were put into play, especially you've got the unrated bit in here and how long it's like, oh, people are like, oh, it's unsuitable for theaters, blah, blah, blah. We can't, no. It's fine. Like it's bloody, but I mean, it's not like Terrifier 3, not even remote, you know?
Peter Dinklage, an awkward, timid, and widowed man, as he accidentally has an accident, falls into toxic sludge, and becomes a mutant named Toxie. Despite this film being a remake of the most well-known Trauma film there ever was, it is far too safe. It doesn't know how to lean into the absurdity of its premise, or its plot, or its characters, everything.
Yeah, but if you leaned into it too much, then you get into that regular Trauma territory where you may be going like, ooh.
Everything about this world is so weird. Why won't you?
And not in like I'm looking at, some, blood and guts kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about. If you've seen the Trauma films, you know what I mean.
Just let it be weird. And I get this from a realistic standpoint making this movie. This is going to be a lot of people's first Trauma film, right? But at the same time, you also need to rip off the Band-Aid. And why is the film leaning so heavily into sentimentality rather than the humor of everything here?
Because it works better. I think I like the sentimentality of it. Like, honestly, I remember watching the movie and everything and going like, wow, why do I feel like emotions watching a Toxic Avenger movie? That's a feat right there, my friends.
Right. Not to say that I shouldn't care about these characters, but you also have to recognize there have to be jokes here and there, right? Again, it's not a bad movie. I just want so much more in nearly every single way, and that feels like a big disappointment considering how much this film has been built up over the past 2 or so years. That's not even just on me, just kind of the ways that people have talked about this movie. However, if you do want to see this film, it is currently playing in theaters, and I do highly support that you do go see it in theaters because we do need more movies like this, despite my criticisms.
Yeah. Trillin says, yeah, it was nowhere near unreleasable, right? I mean, there was nothing that was so bloody about it. There was nothing that was so over the top. Yeah, it was fine. It was fine. There's nothing wrong with it, It was an R-rated movie all day long.
What are we doing? What are we doing? At this point, I think we've got to admit to it. Half of y'all who claim to love film don't.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, maybe this was close to what he was kind of saying last time. Is this his jag? Is his jag that y'all don't like films as much as you say that you do, whereas mine is like, hey, movie ticket prices need to go down, so we each have our own little thing, and his is like, hey, you don't like movies like you say you do, you friggin' liar.
And that's fine. You don't have to. But
But you better.
every year, some of y'all are spouting the same nonsense about how it's a terrible year for film.
Yeah, that's true, because it's not. It's we've always had good years for film. You're just not watching a lot of the films that are going that are out there. It's not something that interests you. Now, you can say that this movie season has not interested me. That's a very acceptable statement. But saying there aren't movies out there aren't good movies out there is blatantly untrue. There's tons of great stuff out there. You just have to look sometimes.
Because look, when you love film, every year is a good year for it, because every year I find the filmmakers, I find the actors, I find the writers that spark something within me. And if you're not finding that, you're either not looking for it or you're not open to it. But
Agreed.
Either way, we got to look ourselves in the mirror and question why we're doing something if we're not enjoying it. And if we're not enjoying it, why do we insist on trying to ruin it for others or trying to convince others that it's ruined? Cinema was around long before us, and it'll remain long after we're gone. And
No, man, TikTok gonna be taking over. There ain't gonna be no movies no more. It's all gonna be vertical dramas. You remember that, Jive?
best of all, it'll outlive all the terrible takes that it's long been dead itself. All right, I'm going to get back to watching Daniel Day-Lewis in The Last of the Mohicans now.
I thought that was Fortnite for a second. The way that they colored that, I don't know. When you do customer service at a video store.
Scarecrow Video, how may I help you?
Yeah. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, my name is Arnold P. from Buttonsfield, and I had a question for you at the Scarecrow Video, as you call it.
As you call it. It's like, yeah, that's the name of the store. What do you mean, as you call it? I swear this is every person that calls any place.
Hello? Yeah, so I seen this movie once. I think it was on the television, or maybe it was in a movie theater. No, I think it was my friend's house. Can you help me find this movie, or tell me someone who can?
Well, I can bring up Google and we can go from there.
Well, I never thought to Google. I don't Google no more.
Oh my God. Brother, I know that some of you are watching this and thinking, oh, this is made up. She's going a little bit over the top here. I'm here to tell you, no, she's not. No. People will call your stores talking about the craziest things you've ever heard of in your entire life, things that don't make any sense whatsoever. They will ask you the dumbest things that you will go like, how did anybody even come up with this question? Do you there must be some sort of brain damage for you to even conjure this up as a question. Like, these people happen, man. They happen everywhere, dude.
But this movie had a man in it who looked like Charlton Heston, but it wasn't Charlton Heston, and he'd either committed a crime or he knew someone who had committed a crime. He did the crime, but the thing was maybe he did do it or he didn't. I think it was in black and white, or maybe it was in color. I watched it on color TV.
Well, I watched it on a color TV, so there's that.
And there's a part where he's in this big cathedral, and someone has a gun. Do you know this movie?
That's The Untouchables.
Is that The Godfather from 73?
Yeah, that's the movie, and I think you'll find it actually came out in 72, not 73.
Why did you ask me?
Well, I just wanted to know. Now, the real question.
Just wanted to know.
I'm seeing all around that you have a rental by mail service. How do I sign up for that?
Yeah, you just have to create an account on the internet and start from there.
Okay, and how do I get on the internet?
Oh, boy.
You don't have the internet?
No.
This is my biggest thing with people. They would call up to the shop and they would be like, what are your hours? To which I never did, but I always wanted to ask them, how did you find this number? Was it the internet? Do you know what else you could find on the internet that would save you a phone call? You just do a couple little scrolls like that. Maybe punch in a zip code. Maybe you even just have to hit like the little location button. It goes, and it finds you. It says, hey, here's your closest store. Look at the hours. There you go. You didn't have to call nobody, you piece of garbage. Think about the person on the phone that has to answer your phone and answer your dumbass question. Be a human being.
I never got that. To be honest with you now, I don't do mail either. In my town, we have 5 people. See, there's me, 3 of my family members, and a man that we choose to not associate with for multiple reasons.
For multiple reasons.
We haven't had any mail service since the sawmill was closed in 87. And my cousin Gerald used to work there. And
my God, they've been giving you like nonsense as shit that you don't care about. And you're just like, why am I getting this story?
Made chairs, but mostly also tables.
Mostly also tables.
And we put the television on the table and we would watch movies.
Movies? Why does she sound like Donkey? We watch movies, see? Yeah, movies.
He got married and moved away, and I think they're both dead now. I don't recall. There was this one movie we saw that had this little green evil demon man who helps the other dead people haunt the house we watched, and I think it was called Mr. Scary House or something like that.
Uh-huh.
No, I think I'd remember that name. Anyway, you need the internet for this? Huh. Well, can I just talk to someone who knows about this a bit more than maybe you do to get around all that? Like maybe can you get someone who can actually help me, darling? Someone who can, actually know what they're doing? That's all I want to know. Hello?
And then you're just like, I'm the one in charge. This is it. The buck stops here. You're talking to the top dog, lady.
Sure, can you please hold?
Thank you, I will hold.
Thank you, I will hold. Fantastic.
Hey, I'm Titanic Fan 97, the owner of the world's largest collection of Titanic on VHS.
I question this gentleman's sanity. I first discovered him a couple years ago. He just collects all these copies of Titanic on VHS. And that's it. That's the gag. Entire room full of Titanic on VHS. Just Titanic on VHS. I always have the question, at what point, when is the joke on you? It's funny, it's ha-ha. But when is the joke over? When do you look at yourself and go, what the hell am I doing here?
VHS. As we near 5,000 copies, we reminisce how we got here. For nearly 4 years, I've been documenting building this magnificent collection.
God.
We travel the country, different flea markets, thrift stores, conventions, anywhere that might sell VHS with Titanic on the title, we'll find it.
With Titanic.
We drive out, we fly out, we walk out if we have to. It doesn't matter. We'll do anything for Titanic on VHS. Our mission has gotten major media attention, including interviews. September 1st, 1998, Take the Voyage Home. That's what they were saying. That's what I was playing on the VCR. TV appearances.
Hold on. How old is this kid? Because, I had Titanic on VHS. He don't look like he even old enough to have had a VHS. What I'm talking about right now. I mean, come on. Now I'm confused.
Know what it do, James Cameron. What a genius. Oh, Titanic.
See, the way he says Titanic and everything, I don't like it. I don't like it because it's a weird put on and stuff. And he goes, everything is one of these. It's like Casey Kasem had autism.
Docs. Titanic, Titanic, Titanic. Even a page in the 2024's Ripley's Believe It or Not book.
I choose not to believe Ripley. I choose not.
Support from our followers has been stronger than ever imaginable, with a steady influx of tapes of Titanic on VHS going straight to our P.O. box. I'm talking packages, on top of packages, on top of packages, baby. It just don't stop.
Again, who's the joke on? Who is the joke on?
Thousands of people have donated to our collection, all writing these little letters, and we always log it into the Book of Jack. We get all kinds of artwork, sometimes even a Jack Dawson to add to our probably the world's largest collection of Jack Dawson figures. But here's the deal.
This is the part where he finally gets real and just goes, this whole thing has gotten way too out of control. Ladies and gentlemen, I am swimming in these. It started off as a joke. It's been really a blast, but what the hell am I doing with my life? I'm tired. I want to go to sleep, boss. Can I go to sleep? Is that what he's going to say? I hope that's what he's going to say.
The journey's far from over. Long term, I achieved my goal of collecting 1 million copies of Titanic on VHS and rebuild Titanic out of Titanic on VHS.
His poor loved ones.
Short term, I'm looking for a filmmaker to help tell my story.
I think you're done, brother. What? This guy reminds me of James Balsamo. There's only going to be a handful of people who know who that is, but if you do, you know that this is a very apt comparison.
The more eyes on this project, the more tapes we amass.
Hell!
The faster we get to the goal of 1 million. I'm really trying to tell a story here about a young boy who grew up and lived his dream, the ship of dreams.
I can't.
It's Titanic. So what better way to celebrate the 27th anniversary of Titanic on VHS than to get a full-blown documentary about the greatest collection of all time, about the greatest movie of all time, on the greatest ship of all time, directed by the greatest director of all time.
See, you get tired even within the singular video. You know, it's tiring here. How could you live your life like this?
Starring the greatest man of all time, Jack Dawson. Woo! It's passion. Woo! Woo! It's commitment. It's love, baby. And you're going to want to see this. You're really going to want to see this. A movie about Titanic on VHS, never been done. A movie about Titanic, it's been done, son. But this one is special. It's about the ship of dreams. And my dream is to get more Titanic on VHS. So just think about it. You're going to want to call me James Cameron. Come on. Woo!
It's too much. I weep for this man. Reminds me of when I saw a guy who only had copies of Donnie Darko on his movie shelves. I've seen that one. I've seen I knew a guy who only did Jurassic Park on VHS. Remember that one? There's a couple other weirdos out there. People are strange, dude.
So I had a very weird interaction.
Oh my God, he's back again. Oops a doodle. Why have I gotten two straw hat goofy things in this? Oh my word. Oh, I know why. So old straw hat goofy here apparently had a weird out of theater interaction. All right, so Straw Hat Goofy had a weird out-of-theater interaction the other day. Am I the creepy guy? What does he mean by this? Let's find out.
Action at a movie theater the other day, and it made me feel even weirder a day later. For the record, I'm not saying this because I want to say that this person's weird or a bad person or anything like that. I'm saying that it was weird because it kind of coincided with the movie that I was watching at the theater. So I'm walking out of the theater. I had just seen Caught Stealing with Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz when I'm getting my parking validated, and I start hearing the voice of this huge YouTube creator that I follow named Comics Explained. His voice is super recognizable. He talks about comics, does really great breakdowns and narrations and stuff like that. But as I'm walking by, I hear this voice and I say like, hey, are you watching Comics Explained? The guy says, yeah, man, I love his content. Like, I don't really get to see a lot of comics, blah, 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 blah. So we ended up bonding over that. We talk about like what movie I was coming out of, what movie he's going into, our top 10s of the year. And we actually exchanged numbers and I can't wait to see him again. He's really
good Lord. What were you talking for 45 minutes? My word.
Really cool guy. In the middle of the conversation, his friend, who you could clearly know he didn't see in a while because they dap each other up, it's a big deep hug, and I'm thinking, hey, friends at the movie theaters, ain't this great? And they get about like 45 minutes into their conversation before he acknowledges me and says like, hey, I'm such and such. Sorry, I don't know.
You stood around in another person's conversation for 45 minutes? Uh-oh.
Your name, but he says, hey, I'm such and such. We dap each other up. But it felt weird because throughout the conversation, you kind of feel like a third wheel sometimes. And like the other guy, he's like trying to include me into the conversation about what's going on. The other guy, not so much. It got to the point where every time I was saying something, he would kind of give, the look. He would give.
And why was you hanging out, dog? Be an adult. Leave. Get the hell out of there. If people don't want to be hanging out with you, just leave. Why are you hanging out this long anyways? My word. Like this is what you do when you're like 21.
Me this look like, yeah. Right? And so that just felt a little weird. But throughout this conversation, I gathered that they both worked in the movie industry. Like two of them worked in movies that like I've like actually seen. And one of the things that they were talking about was like, oh yeah, man, how's Lurker doing? Like Lurker looks like it's going to make some like big waves in the movie business. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to actually go see that tomorrow. And the guy says, oh yeah, you should definitely check that out. Right? And I'm just like, okay, sure. I'll check it out. And he's just like, yeah. So at the end of the conversation,
he thinks you're a narc.
He basically like says, hey man, nice to meet you. He dips off. I dip off. I go home. It doesn't really hit me until I actually watch Lurker, right? Now, if you don't know what Lurker is about this guy who is obsessed with this music artist who's basically like the Frank Ocean of the movie. He weasels his way into the friend group. And then he just basically is like obsessed with this guy, right? And there's a lot of moments where there's like people who are just kind of like star fuckers, who just want to have close proximity to famous people. And the people around them are looking at them like, okay, bro, the fuck? Like what? And one,
I ain't saying nothing.
I realized that the guy who is, giving me the weird interaction was in the movie. Like, he didn't have a big role. I think, like, if you really wanted to clock the amount of
now he's shitting on the guy.
Screen time he had, probably like 2 seconds of screen time. And I'm not saying that as a diss. Like, he was.
Yeah, you are, homie. He snowballed you, and you hate, and you like, oh, I hate that. And you was only on the screen for 2 seconds. Get out of here, dog.
It was like a guy who like walked in to hug one of the singers. It's a blink and you'll miss it moment. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. It's literally a blink and you'll miss it moment.
You suck, dog. You over here and like, you're not me, boy.
And I was like, oh, that's the guy. He's in the movie. And then I didn't see him again. And I was like, okay, like, he probably worked on it. He probably even worked on the set. And they probably brought him in.
Straw Hat's like stomping on his throat too. It's like, homeboy probably wasn't even like a real actor or nothing in it. They probably just hired him because he was a grip. And they were like, hey, you got a good look about you, boy. Step on in there. My word. You hate this guy so much, Straw Hat. This is so funny.
So I was like, okay, that's the guy. But then when I'm watching the movie and the contents and context of the movie, I realized that I was being treated like the creepy guy who weaseled his way into the friend group. And that's what
you mentioned it, that you stood around for 45 minutes while those two talked, while you were just like, can I be in the conversation, please? APC your way out of there, dog. So you mentioned it yourself. He dapped him up like he was a friend that he hasn't seen in a long time, and then started talking about 5 seconds in. Well, maybe let's be generous and say 2 or 3 minutes into them talking, you should have been looking at your watch going, hey, bud, it's been a great night talking to you. We'll get in touch later, blah, blah, blah. And then you peace on out. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what adults do. You stood around, like, sounded like this dude thought you were like begging for change or something. It's like, hey, can we be part of the? That's what it sounds like. So I think that's how he took it, man.
Well, I was like, oh, hell no. And I don't think this man did it on purpose. Like, he doesn't know me. He doesn't know if I'm
he didn't do it on purpose, but you kind of did.
Creepy guy or not, who's just trying to, like, hang with people in the movie industry. He doesn't know me at all. But it was funny that, like,
yeah, that's why you seem like the creepy guy who's just sitting there trying to hang out with two people who know each other. The call's coming from inside the house, Straw Hat.
Like, the guy in the movie was treating me like the people were treating the guy in the movie, if that makes sense.
Well, I hope we don't see The Sixth Sense. This is going to be wild.
Stress enough. This isn't about the guy per se. Like, I don't think he's an awful person.
Yeah, it's a little bit how he snowed you and didn't include you in on the conversation, and you took it personal, and then you came on the internet and just go, he ain't even got no time in this movie. You are salty, my friend.
I think he did it on purpose at all. Like he probably
didn't do it on purpose, but he kind of did it on purpose.
Tired, like, I don't know his life. It's more about the parallel between what happened in the movie and what I felt was happening to me in that moment. And I think it's funny that he was actually in the movie. That's why I said it made me feel weird, because I was like, I'm in the life that's imitating art, or the art that's imitating life.
Great story. Wow. I hung out and made a dude feel awkward. The Straw Hat Goofy story.
Nothing in your life is deserved. You've earned nothing. You're a piece of shit. Listen, I don't want to say it. I really don't, but
A message for people who talk during movies. Amen, brother.
I hope you all die in like a big movie flood that I was going to say something horrible and now I'm not. I want to talk about New York movie theaters.
I bet you this could apply to most movie theaters, but let's see how disgusting New York is.
Welcome to Talk, the show where we talk. What do you got for me?
I've never had a good movie-going experience in the city of New York ever, and I've gone to hundreds of movies.
So you do keep going back, is the thing.
Yes, I
got no place else to go.
Going back, I've gone every single time you could go, early in the morning, late at night, middle of the day. I've gotten tickets where no one else has bought a ticket, and then a bunch of kids came in because a classroom of children came in to see the same movie I was seeing and screamed and told their teacher to go fuck himself.
So the thing that you hate about movie theater.
This guy sounds like he's got a lot of the old Adam luck in him, Anything that can go wrong most assuredly will go wrong. I feel for this gentleman.
Is the other people.
Yes, the other people ruin the movie theater. I went to see, so I was like, I'm gonna beat it. So I went to go see Superman in IMAX.
Hey man, don't be beating it at the theater, all right?
At 9:30 in the morning. And I said, there's no way that this can be bad. A father allowed his child to climb over the seats. He was standing on where the screen is, up at the IMAX screen, standing there yelling, I'm in the middle. Look.
Oh my God. Listen, I've had a lot of bad movie experiences. I never had that. That's insane. That is insane. If a little kid came up in the middle of the IMAX screen, stood it up there, is like, I'm in the middle, look at me, I'm in the middle, somebody's getting a beating. First it's the kid, next it's the parent. My God.
Look at me, I'm in the middle. But you can't yell at these parents, because parents who let their kids do that will fight you in public.
Bet. I'm ready to roll.
I think I'm seeing the issue, and it is kids in movie theaters, and I say fuck them kids, and I think that there should be specific movies that are kids only, like you can bring your kids there, like a park, and then every other show
they do, they have those shows. They're on Tuesdays.
You shouldn't be allowed to bring your kid unless they have a muzzle.
Here's the thing, I wish it was just children. I listen.
Yeah, he's 100% correct. Like you go like, oh, it's just kids. Like, listen, man, I worked at a place that was also a bar and a movie theater. And let me tell you, adults just as bad, if not worse sometimes.
To a man make a phone call at Creed 2. He made a phone call. I heard the guy on the phone. The phone was so loud, I heard a guy go, who is this? And I was like, the guy doesn't even know who's calling him. This is crazy.
He's like, hey, man, I'm in Creed 2. It rocks.
And I'm all jacked.
Man, when Creed 2 came out, we had a big old fight with that one. Don't call somebody's mama names or nothing, man, because sometimes the whole theater's got to throw down if that's the case. It was the case that night.
Act up because it's Creed 2.
Do you think it's like maybe a post-COVID world where people like don't know
that was pre-COVID, so
how to act in public, or this was before too?
This was before too. I went to see the Joker, and these girls in the movie theater were like, oh, this Joker, a ugly ass dude. They were like yelling at the Joker, and I'm like, this is.
Well, brother, again, you live in New York City, so what do you want? What do you expect? You ought to come on now.
What makes the Joker me right now? I was gonna say something horrible, and now I'm not. But everyone, don't talk of the movies anymore.
Don't talk in the movie.
Amen to that. I went to a movie recently. Two couples sat in the front row of me. They brought in outside drinks. They whispered amongst themselves, and when something sexual appeared on the screen, they would go off in pairs and return a few minutes later. What year is this? Oh my God. I'm pretty sure they were out defiling the bathroom. Nothing says I love you like a public toilet, right, kids? Yikers.
I just saw The Godfather for the first time at 36.
Woo! Well, congratulations, man. That's a great one. I always say if you can see it on the big screen, anytime that these like big monumental movies come out and there's a possibility that you can see it on a big screen, do yourself the biggest of favors and see that bad boy on a big screen. But hey, man, at least she finally got to it. That's good. I wonder how she's going to take it, though, because it's such an ingrained bit of our society and everything that it's like, I'm sure there's a lot of folks out there that feel like they've seen The Godfather, but actually haven't.
And I think I finally understand my father. So the guy who
That's great.
introduced the film did ask if it was anyone's first time.
Okay, first of all, I was right. This is great. She saw it for the first time, and she saw it not only on the big screen, she saw it on 35 millimeter at the New Beverly Cinema. Madam, I don't think you could have done any better. Wow. Talk about awesome.
I'm seeing it, and I was personally comforted by how many hands went up. It was super fun to finally have some proper context for the dozens of references I've seen in pop culture throughout the year.
Exactly. That was my big point, is that like I'm sure that it's like, oh, these are the things that everyone's always been referencing. That's funny.
But then I realized I maybe have never seen an Al Pacino movie.
Oh
We
my
have to
word. That's even worse. Here's the thing, though, man. As much as I go through and I kind of laugh at folks that haven't seen like a good number of films and stuff like that, it kind of, again, it always kind of makes me a little bit jealous, because that means that you can go out and check out movies for the very first time and get that awesome experience. And now, even as an older person, that you're probably more apt to, really receive and enjoy that movie a lot more than you would if you'd have seen it at a much younger age. So I think it's awesome.
I also think the only Francis Ford Coppola movie I've seen is Megalopolis.
Oh. Her first Francis Ford Coppola movie was Megalopolis. Her second was The Godfather. That's fantastic.
Oh my God.
Rough. I can't
Wow.
know him most from Dunkachino. Scrolling.
I know me from the Dunkachino ads. That's the most important part of my career. I took that role because I was out of money. It turns out that I got a little bit of a gambling habit. And I'm not going to lie to you folks. I like a little bit of booger sugar every now and then, Helps wake me up in the morning, put a little pep in my step. So you know what you got to do every now and then. You got to get in the drag and start kissing on Adam Sandler in a movie. I was not good with my money.
Scrolling.
Oh, yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I've only watched it on silent on a plane. Somebody else was watching it.
Oh, my
So
word.
I haven't seen
Go
that.
back down.
Oh, House of Gucci. Okay, so I know
Right.
Al Pacino from Dunkachino and House of Gucci, and now The Godfather.
Yikes. Okay, Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah.
Jack.
Oh, man. If she saw Jack.
I think I might have seen Jack.
Come on.
Yup. No. Robin Williams. Yes. No. Okay.
Oh, boy. That's
All
sad. One of Francis Ford Coppola's worst movies ever, Jack. Wowie.
Wow.
And Megalopolis.
Wow, he did not do.
Well, The Godfather. What a film. Really holds up.
Yeah.
Glad we did that. Mwah.
Well, you got The
Yay.
Godfather 2 to look
Thank you,
forward
Beverly.
to. That's pretty awesome. And hell yeah, dude, you're right by the New Beverly. So, like, come on, you got zero excuses, lady. And in 35 millimeter always, or 16 millimeter.
What if the most terrifying monster in cinema history was born from a production so rushed and chaotic that it accidentally became a masterpiece of authentic horror?
Intrigued? I am. Let's see where we're going.
Ridley Scott had just 4 months to construct an entire universe, yet this constraint forced a kind of desperate creativity that polished studio systems can't replicate. The iconic chestburster scene epitomizes this beautiful madness. Real animal organs from a slaughterhouse, rotting under hot lights, creating such a putrid smell that actors genuinely gagged between takes. The cast wasn't told about the genuine gore, so their shock is absolutely real. This wasn't method acting. This was method filmmaking. Scott created a film where the line between performance and survival blurred completely. Even Harrison Ford fled the project, sensing perhaps that this wasn't just another sci-fi romp, but something genuinely unsettling. Sometimes art emerges not despite chaos, but because of it. What creative constraints in your life have accidentally produced your best work?
I mean, he didn't say anything I don't think we didn't previously know. The music kind of killed me. All right, they can't all be winners. Let's go.
Darren Aronofsky just launched an AI film studio, and their first project, Ancestra, just premiered. The studio is called Primordial Soup, and it's built around one goal: using AI without losing the soul of storytelling. This project took a team of over 200 artists and researchers using Google's VO 2 and 3, feeding it storyboards, reference art, and archival footage to generate highly specific visuals guided by artistic direction.
I mean, at that point, though, why don't you just go ahead and just do it? You know? I think there are good and bad uses for AI. I think there's a fine line for things. There's bits that are coming for the future. I think we just call things AI to call things AI. There's nothing artificial intelligence about any of this stuff, but that's a whole nother video.
Critics said it was visually stunning even if the story felt uneven. If anyone had a chance to see it, I'd love to know your thoughts below.
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to judge it against Darren Aronofsky's other film that I saw at the Las Vegas Sphere and everything. I forget exactly what it's called. Postcards from Earth, I think it's called. Yeah, like it was fine. I feel like this is probably going to be more of that, where it's just kind of like a light narrative sort of thing, maybe some weird voiceover or whatever, but nothing that's too. We're not in the realm of them making full ass AI movies or anything. Not for some time, at least. I don't think. Not that's going to be anywhere.
No, it's now the moment. I'm going to name the 4 films that I found very inspiring while making Caught Stealing.
The thing I think I found the most interesting about this video is whatever voice thing that they're using with this, because he's clearly outside here at a premiere and everything. And as you might imagine, with old Austin Butler here, amongst any other Hollywood stars, you'd be hearing a whole bunch of noise and stuff in the background. But they have isolated his voice to a wild degree here, almost so that it kind of just breaks the reality of what's going on here. But let's see what his top 4 for Caught Stealing is.
After Hours.
Fantastic movie. Martin Scorsese, Griffin Dunn running around in a crazy madcap night. What happens when you say yes, but then get screwed every single moment of your entire life. That's why I love After Hours so much, because it feels like it just comes from here, you know?
It's just a clear inspiration and a wonderful, wonderful film. I believe, from what I know, I've never talked to Martin Scorsese, but my understanding, at least, it was a moment when he was going, I want to have fun making a movie. And I feel like that's kind of where Darren is in his life right now. And so they line up very well. And we also have Griffin Dunn, who plays Paul in After Hours, and he runs Paul's bar in this movie.
Oh, well, there you go.
Which was just one of those synchronicities that nobody thought of until about a week ago. Blowout is one of
Yes. You guys know my big love for Blowout.
my favorite films. Zoe and I actually went and saw that movie while we were preparing. It's just such a wonderful movie. It has one of the best ending lines of any film. And John Travolta is such a stud in that movie. It's a good scream. The Big Lebowski. It's a similar thing.
Listen, I find The Big Lebowski overrated. Yep.
Where it's a man who's just a dude, and he's thrown into this wild situation with a lot of characters. Frantic. Harrison Ford is an amazing.
I never made it through Frantic. Frantic was one of the early DVDs that we got and everything, and it was just so slow. I was just like, I never made it.
Amazing moment on a rooftop when he's holding the suitcase with something very important inside, and it drops. I remember watching that moment and I gasped out loud, and it taught me so much about what movies can do. The fact that I know it's fake, I know it's Harrison Ford, but
well, he's losing the Elvis accent, so that's a good sign, right?
But I completely was in the illusion. That's when it feels like you're watching magic. I love Letterboxd for many years.
Who believes that?
Yeah, all in all, that was an amazing movie.
Ooh, liking a movie before checking the internet. Who amongst us has made this mistake?
Yeah, top 3 easily.
Yeah, I wonder who was in it.
They really developed each character.
And the symbolism, that was great.
Cinematography really just blends together. Yeah, I'm so glad we watched this movie.
Alright, it wasn't that great.
You just said
Listen, this is how some of you think about movies. It definitely is. If you like tripe, if you like crap, bathe yourself in that crap. Enjoy your crap. Don't sit there and feel like you got to change yourself due to somebody else's opinion on movies or something like that. Nah, man, think for yourself. In fact, you be that rebel, damn it.
What was your new favorite movie?
So why do I agree with Tarantino? Why are movies the worst they've ever been?
At least we're juxtaposing things outside of Tarantino's visage, if you know what I'm saying.
The first reason is that audiences are more specialized than they've ever been, maybe in history.
That's a nice way of saying stupid, but okay.
Most people only care about 1 or 2 genres. Horror fans only want to watch horror movies.
That's not necessarily true, but they are die hard for these things, though. And that is one of the things that I like about horror fans is they are willing, unlike other genre fans, they are willing to give damn near anything a shot. They say, hey, I don't know who's in this. I don't know who's directing it. I know nothing about it, but it's a horror film. And by God, I go see horror films. And those guys seem to be having more fun than damn near anybody else. I'll tell you that.
Superhero fans only want to watch superhero movies.
All of this is very reductive.
And because of that, people will not accept a movie that you can't just put cleanly into one box.
No. I think that Hollywood believes that they have to make movies that can be that have to fit outside of one particular box. I think that's the problem. Is that they go, oh, we need to click all of these boxes here, and they don't need to do that. They need to click specific ones and sell to those specific people. And if you have overflow, all the better. But you need to start going, these are the people that we need to target because those are the people that will buy the tickets. Sell to the audience that's willing to buy.
But some of the greatest classic films couldn't be put in a box, and that's what made them so great. Like Citizen Kane, The Apartment, or China.
Why do I question she's seen these
movies? But I think if we want to have another film renaissance, then we're going to have to open up our minds a little and see films that are outside of the norm.
Yeah, but like the movies that you picked are, I don't know that those are representative or the way that you get people into it, even though I love those films, but is this the way to go about it?
Do you agree or disagree? Follow me for reason 2.
Nobody agrees with me when I say this is Wes Anderson's very best movie.
Yeah, because I think most people know that that's not true. All right, sir, let's see your defense. What do you got?
This was the height of his craft while he still let reality bleed into the frame a little bit.
Well,
before he started storyboarding everything into oblivion. A lot of people don't like this movie because it uses India as a prop. And it's like, okay, fair, but these are rich boys.
I don't care about the India as a prop thing. Like that's neither here nor there for the movie. It's the movie itself. It's kind of the overall tone. It's the relationship of the brothers. I don't know. It's just not the highest on the list for me.
That's sort of the point. It's a story about materialism. And it has this weight and emotional violence that's present in everything that Wes Anderson wrote with Owen Wilson, but it's absent from a lot of his later work. And I think that stuff seeped into this one so strongly for a really practical reason. It's because Wes Anderson chose to shoot this movie on a real-life moving train. This was the last time that he had so many limitations and physical obstacles to work around. Because right after this, he did Fox. And this was the first time that he storyboarded everything.
And then the time that we all realized that, oh, Wes Anderson's actually been doing animation, but with live action people this entire time. That's what I kind of, when I saw Fantastic Mr. Fox, all of Wes Anderson clicked into place for me. It's like, oh, he's dealing in a completely different world than you and I live in. He's dealing in kind of the, for lack of a better word, animated world. And that's where all of his people come from. And if you think of his movies like live action animation, it all starts to make sense.
He made the movie on paper before they shot it. He carried this workflow into his live action movies. And that's when he really started to eat his own tail. Check this out. It's how I used to storyboard. This is from Rushmore. And it reminds me a lot of the way that Scorsese storyboards. It's fast, it's dirty, and it leaves plenty of room for reality, for stuff to happen on set. I still love him.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing, though. You don't become the auteur that you want to be by just kind of winging it and stuff like that. And he, I think, has become a lot like he's had that kind of evolutionary career, much like Ridley Scott, whereas Ridley Scott was always kind of doing his thing, but it got more of him as he went on in his career and everything. So when you got to things like Man on Fire and Deja Vu and stuff, this was like an evolution of where his filmmaking was going over this time and everything. He was finally getting to do exactly what he wanted to do, and he had enough clout and everything to do that. And Wes Anderson is at that point in his career where he does have that clout, where he can do whatever he wants. And he has pretty much kind of honed in on what his authorial intent is when he's doing these movies and stuff. And he wants to get that down and, be as precise as he possibly can. And you know what? So far, I feel like it's been paying off.
But Wes Anderson has really optimized many of the things I love most about his movies out of his workflow. To me, Darjeeling was the best it ever got before the storyboards and the animatics took over. Thank you very much for watching. I'm trying to make one of these videos every single day while I finish post-production, sound and color right now on my first feature film. Give me a follow. Brightens my day.
Well, congratulations on getting through your film here at the end and kind of seeing the finish line and everything. That's pretty awesome. And I got to admit, you at least give me a good enough take for why you like the Darjeeling Limited and not just like, I like it, it's good. You gave good reasons, man. I don't know that I 100% agree with it and everything. I like kind of the preciseness of everything, after that and whatnot. But, it is what it is, man. But great take.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Another movie studio is using AI, and this one will probably surprise you.
Well, old Jeff here's talking about some AI. What do we got?
There was recently a great article in The New Yorker all about A24 and how they've developed from this small indie studio in 2015 to this massive worldwide distributor of some of the world's most popular films. But buried in this article was a little piece about A24's AI division that they're apparently developing right now. I want to read you a little bit of this word for word because I think it's kind of concerning. It says they're building a team of engineers and designers who see storytelling as the ultimate delivery mechanism for inspiration and hard truths, allowing the world's greatest creators to take more creative risk and explore the full landscape of their imagination.
Right now, all you've heard is corporate bullcrap talk. Doesn't mean anything. No words have actually been spoken that mean anything. So this is all corporate horse crap. Nothing has been said yet.
They've speculated using AI for such cases as deep conversations with an LLM, which is like a chat GPT, to debate a character's mindset and pre-visualize characters' costumes in particular scenes.
Now, characters' costumes in particular scenes and stuff like that, using AI is kind of your starting point, and I've mentioned this previously. I think that's okay. It's kind of like your route for inspiration here and everything. If you look at the Ralph McQuarrie drawings, for all of Star Wars, all of his concept drawings and stuff, they were close to what we got in Star Wars, but they weren't exactly what we got in Star Wars. We took those, we refined those, we changed things, we kept some things the same, we changed other stuff in it, and that's how we got the iconic stuff that we got. But it started off of Ralph McQuarrie's concept arts and all that kind of stuff. So that kind of stuff where you just go like, hey, I need a guy, he needs to kind of look like this. Here's where his planet is kind of from. Here's, what his build and all this kind of stuff, just so you can get a very rough idea and then have it spit something out to you. And you go, all right, I want to show your art department this. I want something that looks a little bit like this guy, but, make them blah, 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 give a couple of other extra things. That sort of stuff I think is absolutely fine. If you say like, hey, show me what this kind of world would look like, and then you hand that concept to your art department and say, hey, we need to something like this. And they're going to look at that and they go, okay, I'm not going to give you that, but I'm going to give you something that's like that, something that has that feel in it. That stuff, that use of AI, I am 100% okay with.
I mean, at what point do we just become so stupid that we can't even use our own imaginations?
Now, he's right. There does become a point where you're just like, let me have this LLM talk to this. Shut up. That's ridiculous.
If you're a filmmaker, Do you need Chat GPT to tell you what your character's mindset is? It's your character. It's
I need that Chat GPT.
Your film. If you do that, like, you're literally removing your brain. And
Jeff, did you put these together with AI? Did you put these images together with AI, Jeff? You didn't make these. You didn't 3D render these. You made these with AI. Come on, boy.
Your style from the equation. In
I've
some
done that
cases, they
stuff
mentioned
too.
targeting micro communities. So it's going to be more like, what would this character do if we want to appeal to males between the ages of 18 and 34?
Duh, yeah, don't do that.
Which is just a gross way to make movies. So hopefully the filmmakers that work with A24, who are some of the best out there working today, will reject this, will tell A24 how stupid this is. If you want to use it for internal marketing and stuff, go right ahead. But to use it to tell your characters what to do is just beyond dumb. Like, we are so dumbed down already, and AI is only making it worse.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that to a point. Like I said, if you're having, hey, make my characters talk to each other, then you're a dingbat. You don't need to be doing any of this. But for certain elements and things, it's okay.
Hollywood says it's protecting artists from AI, but behind the curtains, there's a double standard.
Wait a second. Are you telling me that Hollywood talks out of both sides of their mouth? Huh. Well, I would have never figured.
Hi, it's producer Patrick bringing you the latest in the ever-evolving film and TV industry. Back in 2023, during the writers and actors strikes, studios publicly agreed to put guardrails on AI, but
They put the guardrails up at the bowling alley. No more gutter balls for you. Make sure we get them right down the middle. What could it hurt?
reality is they're actually using it everywhere. Netflix admitted to using AI for a collapsing building shot because it was faster and cheaper than traditional visual effects.
I mean, I get it.
Disney and Netflix are both working quietly with Runway AI, the same startup that helps shape everything and everywhere all at once. And across Europe, voice actors are protesting as studios test AI dubbing to replace human performances.
Get good or get gone. I mean, like, I hate to be the one to say it, but you're gonna have to be prepared in one way, shape, or form. Make yourself stand out. How do you be different than AI? Like, I think we can do it. Like, listen, I am rooting for humanity in all of this. I truly, truly am. But you can't just throw your hands up and be like, no, you can't do it, AI. What's the old build a better mousetrap?
But here's where it gets messy. Indie filmmakers are punished for using AI, while the major studios seem to be getting a pass. The horror film Late Night with the Devil got slammed for using just a few AI-generated stills.
Which is stupid. Like little things like that, I don't care. Like, if you get butthurt that like somebody used AI to make a little ghost dealy, you're just a crybaby. Just shut up. It's like, that took away a job. Likely it didn't. Otherwise, it wouldn't be there. What if it wasn't there? If you weren't going to pay somebody for it, then what does it matter?
And critics were calling for boycotts of that movie. Meanwhile, Marvel used an AI-assisted opening sequence in Secret Invasion.
And it looked like complete and utter ass, and we all made fun of it, didn't we? Because slop is slop. And guess what? They ain't out of the slop era yet.
And barely took any heat for it. Even the Oscars have bent the rules. The Brutalist faced backlash after its team admitted using AI to polish its actors' accents. Some immediately demanded a disqualification for the nominee.
Nah, that's like editing, dude. Then you're going to be like, oh, you edited the picture, so then that don't even count. Shut up.
But the Academy later announced that AI wouldn't bar a film from its eligibility, as long as humans were at the center of its authorship.
Yeah.
So the takeaway seems to be that Hollywood claims AI is a threat, but in reality, it looks like a tool that they just want to control for themselves.
Oh, shockaroo. Hollywood has double standards that it only keeps for itself? My word. Shocking.
So, should an AI film be banned outright, or does the double standard need to end?
The double standard certainly needs to end, but I don't know. You're not going to stop it eventually, dude. You like the Secret Invasion intro for what? It looked like face melting. You know how It looked like the In the Mouth of Madness kind of thing. We're like, the stretchy face kind of dealy.
As always, would love to hear your thoughts.
Thanks, Patrick. Guess what, though? We got double feature, Patrick.
Netflix just released its first ever rules for artificial intelligence.
See, no more AI, boy. Today is a lot of AI talk. What rules for AI do we got?
And it could reshape how your favorite shows and movies get made. Hi, it's producer Patrick bringing
Hi,
you the
Patrick.
latest in the ever-evolving film and TV industry. The scandal first broke out with Netflix's true crime doc, What Jennifer Did. Instead of using
What did Jennifer do? I don't watch that stuff.
real photos, Netflix slipped in AI-generated fakes and never told the audience. When viewers found out, the outrage was immediate. Critics said Netflix had crossed a dangerous line between truth and fiction. Then came the Eternaut.
Then Cthulhu showed up and all bets were off. We realized, hey, this might be made up.
A sci-fi series where Netflix admitted it used AI to build an entire collapsing building scene. And that set off alarm bells across Hollywood unions already worried about jobs being replaced.
Listen, I got no love lost for any unions out there, except for a couple of safety unions that, like, you need things to make sure that people's lives are, not lost and stuff like that. Outside of that, unions can take a hike. And they're the reasons why Hollywood movies cost so much. They're the reason, for a group of people that are constantly telling us about how there are moral betters and everything. It's interesting that you got to have a group of people in line to make sure that you're not abusing the people that work for you. I don't know. Are you the best or the worst? I can't tell.
Now, Netflix is officially drawing new boundaries. No copying other people's work, no training AI on private scripts or footage, no replacing actors without crew consent.
So that means that they're going to do all of that stuff.
And of course, if AI ends up in the final scene, Netflix has to approve it first. And that's where
they'll approve all of it.
Controversy really lands. Netflix is quick to set the rules for everyone else, but when it saves them time and money, well, they're not shy about using AI themselves.
Yep.
For creators, it feels like a double standard. And for audiences, it raises a bigger question. Will these rules actually protect the people making the shows we love, or just protect Netflix's bottom line? As always, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
I think the biggest problem is that, like, you're going to get to this point, but it's not going to help. It's not going to help them. Like, they think that AI is going to be the Band-Aid that Hollywood needs. It's going to be the thing that's going to, get them back and in business. It's not. It's not. It's a tool at best, and it's only as good as the things that you're putting into it. You can't just look at AI and say, "Hey, give me a top 10 movie. Spit out that screenplay. Go ahead. Just do it." You got to be able to, tell it something. And if you're devoid of any ideas, and if your judgment is bad, if it spits out a script and you read that script and you're too dumb to realize what you've got's a hot flaming turd, then what good are you? Halloween Horror Nights. This is in Orlando. This is the opening night. This is monstrous. I saw there was a preview night that looked just this bad. That, like, people went to this preview night and paid $400 a ticket to go early and still waited in line over a half hour for each thing. And you paid, and that was the fast one. That's the fast one. You wouldn't catch me. You wouldn't catch me at this for nothing. No way. What's next?
Welcome to Jurassic Park. Welcome to the Rock.
Yeah.
Welcome to Shawshank. Welcome to Con Air.
I'm trying to think of a couple of ones, maybe. Welcome to the Party, Pal. That's going to be one. But, well, it says welcome to the movie. No, because that movie's not called The Party.
Welcome to Jumanji.
Welcome to Shutter Island.
Welcome to another edition of Thunderdome.
Can't we just get beyond Thunderdome?
Welcome to Beer Fest.
Welcome to Benghazi.
Welcome.
Wasn't that movie called 12 Hours?
Welcome to Burlesque.
Welcome to hell.
That movie's called Hellraiser, though. Doesn't count.
Welcome to the Caribbean, life.
It's called Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, or whatever. Like, you ain't say the full ass name. Don't count.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger.
Welcome.
I'll allow it, but welcome to Good Burger, and you should just stop it there.
To the Dallas Buyers Club.
Welcome to Dallas Buyers Club, everybody. I got a couple things here for you. Do you have AIDS? If you got AIDS, we got some stuff here for you. Take some of these drugs. The companies don't want you to have these drugs, but I want you to have these drugs so you can try to get rid of that AIDS. Get rid of that AIDS, boy.
Gentlemen, welcome to Air Force One.
Okay, welcome to Wayne's World. Party on, Garth.
Party on, Wayne.
I guess.
What does that tell you?
Imagine watching an entire movie.
Nobody signs up for this.
So they invited a whole bunch of influencers to check out Stephen King's new movie, The Walk. I think it's called The Walk. At a movie theater where they put in treadmills. They put in treadmills in the movie theater, and they said, hey, you have to walk the entire time. I think they said it was like 3 miles per hour for this entire film. And let me tell you something. I'm here to tell you right now, most of y'all influencers needed the walk. Yeah, you needed the walk. This would be easy for me. I actually did a thing way back in the day at a gym that I went to called Cardio Cinema. So in Cardio Cinema, they had this kind of room, much like this room right here, a little bit smaller, of course, lower ceilings. But they had a little projector going, and you could walk into this movie, into this little theater at any time at the gym and watch a movie on the big screen while you're on a treadmill or an elliptical or an exercise bike. They had all of them kind of set up there so you could watch movies as you were exercising and everything on the big screen. So I could have done this easily. And walking at what, 3? Dude, I could do 4 miles an hour, 90 minutes straight, however long this movie is. Piece of cake. And I don't even think they had to walk that fast. I think they had to walk 3 something. But piece of cake. And I got to admit to you, some of you guys probably could have used this.
Not really. It's not smart talk bad about the long walk.
And they kicked you out. Like, if you couldn't make it, like, you couldn't watch the rest of the movie, right? I would be doing much better if I had a treadmill in front of my TV/projector. Yeah, exactly. That's why I bring the. That's why you bring out the old iPhone there, and I watch like YouTube and stuff while I'm walking. What's next?
Mostly just the things that I've been thinking about recently is just like, wow, there's a lot of money in movies.
Old Finn Wolfhard talking about money in movies. Let's see what he's got.
Like, it used to be, yeah. It's crazy. Like, in the way of like, and I know that sounds like ridiculous to say, but I more mean in context of like what the history, I guess, of like movie making was in like the 70s and 80s is like studios would take chances on like smaller filmmakers and they would make more movies for less money. And now it's like, now studios basically are hiring directors that are established directors and less films and more money, basically.
Yeah, and they're doing it a lot with directors and stuff that they can easily throw a whole bunch of money at, and also at the same time say, well, you kind of gotta do what we want you to do. Marvel movies were certainly responsible for that, and the kind of like certainly the third leg of all the Marvel movies and everything. They're like, listen, we're going to hire somebody that we can kind of, mold them and shape them and make them do exactly what we want. They're good filmmakers, but we kind of are the ones that are controlling the puppeteering of them at the end of the day here. And it's sad. We need more movies, lower budgets to make better returns so we can continue to keep making movies. But again, Hollywood has a money problem in as much as they like spending. They're a bunch of greedy little piggies that love to spend, and they shouldn't be spending as much money. They could be making more money, but they've gotten high on the hog. So what are you going to do? And
so then like it's harder for, younger filmmakers, younger independent filmmakers that have like voices that should be heard and eventually like they will be, because there's great independent companies now that are putting out great
Yeah, but like you guys got to start with that. Like your generation and everything needs to start making films and stuff and putting them on the internet and getting other kids excited and interested in making their own, short films and feature films and stuff like that. You guys need to be the ones that are helming that. And like he's kind of the perfect age for this and everything. He's still young. He's been on a hit show, so he's got like a lot of name recognition and stuff like that. And he's got a little bit of money. You got some Stranger Things money, bud. You need to put together, a $50,000, $100,000 movie. Put it out there. Star yourself in it. Maybe a couple of your buddies. Have everybody do it for nothing. Kick ass, Finn Wolfhard. That's what we want you to do, dude.
Movies, but it is just interesting of like, wow, that movie cost that much money. Like
real.
And then no one ever talked or saw it ever again. It's like that's so wasteful.
I was
and
thinking about that
so
the other
horrible.
day.
Like, yeah, it's just like sometimes I'll see that. I'll see whatever on my phone or whatever it is. I'll like see news about it, and I'm just like, how do they keep doing? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, exactly. How do they keep doing it? How do they keep getting away with it? I feel like it's very much a lot of the producers kind of stuff. We can end up writing things off if they go horribly bad. So. What a mistake, dude.
And so it like, I don't know. It was one of those things like, I just want to keep making, if I keep producing and directing, which I want to do, I just want to keep doing stuff that's like either independent or if it is, with a studio, if I'm lucky enough to be working again and working as a director, having some like boundaries of like, because I don't know. I think that there's this weird thing where I think now movies, there's like less movies and more money. I don't know. It's this really odd thing, but I would love to keep making independent films because, you get a little more control that way.
You can and you should, and I very much encourage him to do so. And again, like I said, he is at that kind of perfect state and everything. You're young enough. You're famous enough. You got enough money. You need to be making short films. If you're doing nothing else other than putting them on YouTube, you'd be getting wild ass recognition for it. And again, start a wave. Be the person that does that. They're not going to look at 43-year-old Adam and say that's what we want to do. So this is a young man's game. Get on it. POV watching Jaws in 40X for the 50th anniversary. My God, I am so sorry. This is the third Straw Hat Goofy video this session. And he's going to be off the tracks for the next two TikTok Trash Tuesdays. I'll just put that up right now. And second of all, Straw Hat, what the hell are you doing here, man? Why you got your phone out? You're watching Jaws in 3D, 4DX here and everything, gyrating around. And you said, hey, let me get my phone out. Come on, dude. What are we doing? Anything for the content, huh?
Wait. I ain't even finished my food.
Hold on. Flicks with Jay. I apologize. Why do you guys look the same? I guess he's got a fuller beard. Maybe it's not 3D. Maybe those are just his glasses. That is not Straw Hat Goofy. That's a black simile is what we call that. Sorry, guy. I just imagine Straw Hat would be doing this. You still should put that phone away, sir. What are you doing? Why the lights up? What the hell is going on in this computer? I'm very confused about that one.
There's something very strange about the way people discuss movies online these days. Everyone is completely obsessed with plot.
I mean, it's part of the important part of the movie, but okay, what?
Even though plot is not and has never been the most important part of a movie. I see these comments all the time that are like, oh, that sequence in that film, it didn't go anywhere, or that scene, it wasn't relevant to the plot, therefore it's bad. That is not what movies are about. It's never.
That's true. I agree with that.
what they've been about, right? If you look at the most famous movies of all time, or famous stories of all time, they're not famous and beloved because they have great plots. The original Star Wars movie has not got a particularly complicated plot.
No, but it's a very traditional plot, and it is the plot of like your hero's journey and stuff like that. So it's something that was very much kind of set out in stone and whatnot. So disagree. I mean, Star Wars is very plot heavy and plot dependent on those things, and that's kind of what makes it, right?
It actually has quite a simple and derivative plot. It's basically a
but that doesn't mean that it's
fairy tale plot. The reason people like Star Wars is because it has great characters and special effects and music and the whole delicious soup that is a movie.
Films like The Quiet Girl, Past Lives, it's not all about, robbing a bank.
Yeah.
But
okay, I hate stupid things like this. It's like there's movies where it's not just robbing a bank and stuff. There's the King's Speech. And it's like, yeah, no one says that doesn't exist.
But it's atmospheric.
Famous stories. To Kill a Mockingbird. Is that an intricate plot? Very simple plot. Big Lebowski. You name anything. Even like a Christopher Nolan movie like The Prestige. Okay, there's lots of plot in that. It's twisty-turny. You still would not give a damn about that movie if it wasn't for character and all the other stuff.
Oh my God. Are we fucking character versus plot? And like, who gives a shit?
So when I see people discussing, for example, a movie I love, Weapons, right? And they're like, well, that scene where that happened, it wasn't relevant to the plot, so it's pointless.
No, those people are dumb, but okay. Yeah.
It's not pointless if it tells you something about the character. It's not pointless if the scene is interesting in itself. Like, you can say, I don't like that scene. Fine. You can say maybe the movie didn't use that scene. But to treat a movie as basically a series of events, I mean, in that case, you might as well just read the plot summary on Wikipedia and not even bother watching the film.
Hell, I think half of y'all do that anyway, right?
Leaves such little room for other things if the whole point, you think, is to just finish the plot.
Exactly. And no, I'm not saying you can't do this. I'm not saying it's illegal. I'm just saying it seems like the least enjoyable way to enjoy a movie. I think of it like swimming, right? When you get in a swimming pool, you're not doing it because you just really want to get to the other end of the pool. You're doing it because you want to experience swimming. And it's the same with watching a movie. I don't start a movie because I'm like, I can't wait for this movie to end. I watch a movie because I want to enjoy the moment-to-moment experience of watching a movie. So I don't know, this weird obsession with plot. And by the way, this has not come from me. Every famous writer, Stephen King, screenwriters, they all say the same thing. Plot doesn't really matter. It's all about character. It's all about experience.
As Miley Cyrus once said, it's the climb.
It's about the climb.
Life's a climb, but the view is great.
How many more climbing phrases do we know?
I think they're both Hannah Montana.
Climb off as far as I'm guess. Yeah, listen, again, I think we're kind of just like we're mincing a whole lot of things. Who cares? One more, everybody.
Two controversial beliefs. One of them is that movies remain, in general, very stuck in the 20th century. Second belief, and this one so many people passionately disagree with me about. If you want to be a great filmmaker these days, for the era that we're in, if you want to push the medium forward, the same way that great directors of the past pushed movies into the future, you have to pay just as much attention to brain rot on TikTok as you do the Criterion Collection.
That's an interesting statement. In order to kind of capture the new audience, as it were, you need to kind of not only have your, 1 foot over in the Criterion closet, as it were, you need to have another over in Meme Lord Ville, if you will. Yeah, I mean, you do need to know your audience, I guess. So let's see if we
probably have to pay way more attention to brain rot, because that is where the energy of the culture really truly is. When I was 15 or 20 years old, movies were the thing. That's where the energy was. Not so anymore, economically or culturally.
Yeah.
And when I see something that really blows my mind cinematically, when I see something that's new and gets me excited about movies, oh my goodness, hi. It's always on TikTok or YouTube or Reddit or Roblox. It's never at the theater. But it could be. It could be at the theater.
Listen, all I'm saying is you want to stay away from the Roblox. Very sussy these days. Very sussy. That is it, everybody. Another TikTok Trash Tuesday in the books. My, oh my, we hit it just at 2 hours here. Exactly what I thought it was. Every single time we hit about 45 minutes worth of TikToks, we drag that son of a bitch out to a full 2 hours here yapping ado. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've watched this for any amount of time, I love you so much. Thank you to Matt for filling up the chat with a whole bunch of fun stuff over this evening. This week on Half-Ass Movie Podcast, we are talking Half-Life as part of our Sean Loves Spaceships September month here and everything. Check out this movie. We got Robert Pattinson, Juliette Binoche, Andre 3000 is in it. Yeah. And Mia Goth. So, yeah, a lot of good people you might recognize in a movie. I would bet the good majority of you out there haven't seen. And look at that. That's a fresh on that tomato there, boy. So go check that out. And we'll be talking about that Sunday. And I've got some more subwoofer videos coming out this week for you as well. I've written all the scripts. I'm doing them all tomorrow. Again, I'm putting the gun to my head on this one, everybody. Thank you guys again so much for checking out the show, liking, subscribing, doing all of those fun things. It's nice when you do. I really appreciate you. And thank you guys again for coming out. And yeah. Join us next week when we I don't know, I was trying to come up with like a good join us next week when Bruce farts on a can. I'll say this, we're going to try to see if we can get someone else to maybe pop in on one of these at some point. That is it, everybody. We'll see you in the next one, whatever the hell that is.